to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders, now we ain't out here moving rocks.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's License to Spin for Race 3 from Fuji, and I did not intend any of that to rhyme, but you know what, it's time to look at the standings and say hello to Ray. How are you, Ray? And by the way, he's not gay.
I'm doing very well.
Good.
Yeah.
Now, if anybody does happen to hear any additional commentary during this event in the terms or in the audio sound of it's because me and Ray are not used to being up at this time of the day and doing commentary, and we'll end up in tears, or it could be one of Ray's twins. But yeah, other than that, there's the standings, folks. It's tight all the way. Oh, that's what she said. It's tight all the way from top to bottom.
Yep.
Yep.
I was distracted.
That's all right. There's no problem. But yeah, okay. So we've had two races, and I think DBR9's had pole on both. Was it 1-1? Jason? Was it Jason won the other one, or was it Steve F1? No, it was Steve F1, I think. I could be wrong. We've only had two races, and my mind's already blown. Oh, excuse me. But for today's race, let's see, Bob unable to make it, Jimmy unable to make today's race, which is a bit of a shame. But it's a chance for those others around them to gain as we have a look at the beautiful setting of Fuji. And we actually talked last week, Ray, about the weather could play a factor here. It's looking quite sunny, but there are a few clouds in the sky.
Yep, no, it looks like a few clouds might get a wee bit chilly, or maybe not. We've got
when in Japan, not Chile.
And Jason, second, third SGP, then fourth we've got Steve F1.
Yep, and they got numbers in front of the grids. In fifth place we've got Nelly. Doing well so far, isn't he? Showing he's got a bit of pace, just ahead of Artpal in sixth place. Again, that rhymes. Then we've got Conrad in seventh, just ahead of the Purple Burglar Alarm in eighth.
Yeah, and then it's Twilight in ninth. That's sun glare off the cars. Annoying. And then 10th we've got Martini, and then 11th we've got Rich Blues, and then 12th we have Gary.
That we do. Now,
who has a passenger as well.
Oh yeah, I don't know who it is, but the lights are getting ready to go out. So it's 4 lights, 5 lights. Are we going to get a jump start again? No! But it's a good start from SGP. He's already up alongside Jason. DBR moves across though. Sees that Jason's a little slower on the start. Jason coming into the first corner nearly. Oh, it actually looks like Jason may have a little bit of lag. As on the pack up, I think Conrad trying to go around the outside of someone. Yes, he was, SGP. Now under pressure though from Steve F1. As Stephen's going to turn 2.
Yeah, SGP just keeping an eye on his line there because he had the tighter line. So at the exit would have drifted out more wide, but he managed to keep it on. As we see Steve F1 going for a move. No, he's just lining it up, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Sorry, on the pack cam, I think I just seen Gary come in a little way too hot, tagging Artpal, and I think Connor got caught up in that as well. Nelly having a bit of a cheeky look at Steve F1 down into the kink, right-hander where the chicane usually is. It's I like the corner, the kink, because it's one of those where if you get it right, it's low. Conrad, big spin on the pack cam. He's managed to save it, I think. Yeah, I love the corner because when you get it right, it's a lovely corner, but it's very easy to get it wrong. And as we've talked to other tracks, Ray, there's quite a few corners here where there could be many different lines taken by the drivers, as Billy just got big time sideways and Gary making a move on him.
Yeah, definitely, especially that last sector. There's different lines, and we will see the drivers do that because they all don't fall into it. Some like to chuck up the inside as Conrad's in the pits early.
Yeah.
Now we're back to the front.
Back to the front. This sounds like a movie, that. Back to the front too. yeah, I think Conrad may have been on the soft tyres. I'm not sure. I went to look and then realised it was on another car, so difficult to tell. But I think he was on the softs. So getting rid of those. Now the drivers do have to use both compounds of tyre, and the long right-hander here, we've got 3 different lines being used by Jason SGP and Steve F1. Again, we will see that as drivers try and carry speed at different points, but also try and defend at different points and try and defend into the left-hander that follows him. SGP's got a little bit of a run here on Jason. It's very easy here as well for the drivers to get caught. Oh, SGP having a look, Jason having none of it. Steve F1 taking a much wider line, but that's what you were saying, wasn't it, where we'll see drivers take different lines, but that's because if one's defending from another, wherever those two are, the next car along may position themselves to try and get a benefit over the both of them.
Yeah, as we see, Jason's defending, he hit that apex, so SGP might actually have a run on him. Steve F1's dropped back just a little bit, not too much, but yeah, so here Slipstream, SGP might have a chance into turn 1, as we've got a couple of pitters in the background.
Yeah, Artpal into the pits, Twilight dived to the pitch but then came back out, so Jason going defensive. SGP, is he going to try a switch back? It can work here. Jason, no, he's got that covered off at the moment, but this is allowing Demon R to break away a little bit. Now with the tyres, mentioned that both compounds have to be used. If I haven't mentioned it, I'll mention it. So yeah, looking at the front 4, I think they're all on the soft tyre at the moment. It does look like Jason has got a little bit of lag. His car jumping around a little bit. So for the tyres though, what's your experience of how the tyres are going to cope around here, Ray?
Well, the softs, the grippier ones, they're okay for say about 6-7 laps, and then you start feeling them struggling for the corner grip. The mediums, I don't really run the mediums long enough to see how long they would last and whatnot. Yeah. SGP's he's trying to get Jason out of line.
Yep, he definitely is, isn't he? Steve F1 has closed the gap in. I mean, Steve F1 may be in a situation of wanting to attack, but also got to be aware of SRI behind us. SRI's got to be aware of Nelly. Twilight not too far. Oh, SGP sideways! Oh, well, yeah, I was going to say that's his challenge over for now, and it is, because he's been passed by Steve F1 and SR is in the pits.
He's gone to the pits, he's went for an early pit stop. Yeah. Maybe try and get out the way of Jason and get the undercut maybe. Yeah, cool. As SRI's going for a move into turn 1, is he going to get it slowed down and stopped in time?
Yes, it looks like he is. Side by side they go. And yeah, now Steve F1 has got the inside line for the next corner, but it is a tighter line, and this is one where if you're on the outside, it can work nicely for you, but it might also not go nicely for you like that. It's one of those where if you get slightly offline on the outside line, you can easily go straight on. So SGP has come out of the pitch just ahead of Conrad, who pitted at the end of the first lap. So the undercut is quite powerful, as obviously Conrad now battling with the cars up in front. SRI's front left tyre, that's the one to keep an eye on. Now, as you said, about 6-7 laps on the softs. By that point, that front left will be completely red. Now, the tyres can keep going, but the lap times are going to drop off. I think it's just a case, though, for a lot of the drivers of what the lap times are in comparison to what the medium tyre can do. So obviously the medium tyre is a slower tyre, but should be more durable. But Nelly having a bit of a look. Is he? You'll know he thinks better of it. Yeah, I think for me, Ray, I think the medium tyre just doesn't really work that well. I don't know whether it's the temperature isn't high enough. I just find it a little too slidey across the road as Martini, Billy, making a bit of a move on Rich Blues in the background and on the back. Yeah,
it'd be nice to see Steve F1's tyres at some point to see the difference as SRI goes for a move again. Does he try park it? Oh, was a bit of contact.
I think that
SRI's slowing down.
Yeah, well, Nelly's benefited, that's for certain. Let's see, I mean, I don't know.
Are we on Steve F1's tyre?
Yes, we
yeah,
are.
we're on
yeah.
Steve.
So that's all it was. SRI was
kind
just trying to facilitate your request.
Yeah. So they're kind of get the same tyre wear, Steve F1 and SRI.
What I'd be
at this
interested
moment.
to see is DBR and Jason's tyres. Because one thing SRI's got to... No, sorry, Steve F1's... Because one thing we talked a little bit about last week was if you're at the front and you're going fast, there is a chance you might be hurting your tyres more. But actually, sometimes you can get into a rhythm where you're actually driving within the grip of the car. They've got a bit of a penalty and a bit of chop. Rich on the medium tyres.
He just cut that king.
Now, interesting, look at Rich's front left tyre. It's only got twice the life of Steve F1. Ooh. And well, about a third of the life of Steve F1's race tyres. On the middle, what did he? I think he might have. It may have been serving a penalty. Yes, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had to have a second penalty.
Oh.
Artpal's going for a move into turn 1. SGP's back in the pits.
Yeah, and he was on the medium tyre, so maybe he's done an early stop. Oh, Rich sliding. Maybe he's done an early stop to put the mediums on as SRI put in a bit of pressure on Nelly. Nelly on the inside line. SRI round the outside. And that's what I was on about, where the outside line can work as long as you get the corner right. Steve F1 now trying to get in on this and does. Different lines being used around the long left-hander, but SRI's got the inside, so he can bang those anchors on and hook the inside, try not to get sideways, but out wide is where the grip really is, and Steve F1 making the most of that, gets ahead just... Ooh! Now, interestingly, SRI's front left tyre has gone, so maybe that's why he's just struggling a little bit.
Neil's still got a bit of his tyre.
Yeah, that he has. So I'm wondering if that's why sort of SRI will have that little moment wide. And that's one of the things that it will cause. Or Rich Blue still sliding. But the thing is I mean, one of the interesting things here is when you've got an imbalance of the tyre wear like this, from left side to right side, what it does allow you to do, was Nelly having a look. I don't know if he can just sneak his nose in. Oh, now if SRI wants the pits, that's going to be comparable. Just seen a load of smoke on the pack cam. I think Conrad may have had an issue. Nelly is heading to the pits, so going for an undercut on SRI. But if you look, Steve, and there's Demon R. So Demon R's still got a little bit of life in his tyres. Let's see, we're going to see Jason's, are we? Oh yes, and Jason's, there's a slither.
Oh, it's gone now.
Oh yeah, he's had it. So Steve F1, his front left is the same. So this is what I was on about, where that front left can go, but you can still have a bit of grip. But also, because your right-hand tyres are good, in corners like this one, the left-hander, you can lean on those right-hand side tyres. So you be cautious through the right-handers and be a bit more aggressive on the throttle through the left-handers. Artpower on the racing mediums now, right behind Critical. So having pitted at the end of lap 2, I think it was, he's now got himself up to 7th place, which is a pretty good position to be in, because I think all of the cars ahead of him haven't pitted yet.
No, I don't think so. Well, Twilight has pitted, did they not?
Yes,
or
did
he dummy it?
No, Twilight dummied it, didn't he? As Artpower making the move into the final sector here. Critical side by side. And I think Critical may still be on his first set of tyres.
Yeah, and so Artpal's on the medium, so see how much ground he covers on the mediums when everybody pits.
Okay, race leader into the pits, which, so lap 7, so 7:40. You know what? I don't think we're on for a two. Okay, Jason in, SRI's in. Critical started on the mediums. Okay, I think he started on the mediums. Yeah, I would guess so. So going up the inside of Artpal, but Artpal's got the fresher tyres. So when it comes to the corner exit, I'd half expect to see either around the outside or a switchback work for Artpal here. Yeah, so here's the grip kick in, look.
I was just looking, I think it was the sun, but it looked like Critical had his left indicator on. No, he has got it on.
Has he?
Or is it the... I don't know. Is it?
I think it's the sun.
See it.
I think it that
Might be the sun.
If it's not the sun, it'll be the daughter. Yeah, I think it is the sun, though, to be fair. Yeah, the little flashes of sunlight. Actually, you know what?
I can't see it on the front. I can't see it on the front, but I can see it on the rear.
Maybe
But
it's
as
okay.
Steve F1 coming into the last sector, is he going to pit this lap and react to everybody else?
Well, if he doesn't, he's going to get undercut. Now, Demon R's just ahead of Formula Gary with Nelly right there. So Nelly having a bit of an undercut has caught up to Demon R. Jason has been jumped by Nelly. Jason having a look up the inside. Nelly having none of it. Gary's going to be a little bit of a sitting duck here. Although I don't think Gary's pitted yet, and his tyres have still got a bit of life in them. So he's not doing too bad. They just haven't got the pace there of these guys that are on fresh tyres. So I think Demon R...
I think he's gone for the pits now.
Yeah, I think
Yep, Gary's gone for the pit.
on the mediums. Nelly's on the mediums. I don't know what tyre Jason is on. Hopefully we'll find out soon. Well, we may be able to tell from the braking zone. If Jason's got more grip, he'll be on the soft tyre. I think he's on the soft tyre. Oh, and here comes SRI trying to steal a position.
Jason's on mediums.
Oh, yes, he is. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So he's on the medium compound tyre. Wow. So Nelly. Well, this is where if SRI's on the soft, so they're doing well. But I don't know what tyre SRI's on. And here comes Conrad, who's done a couple of pit stops already. May have. I thought Rich was going for him. Okay, so Art Pal now on the back of Twilight. I was going to say for the battle for the lead, but it's not. Steve F1 is still out there from 3 wide on the pack cam. Ooh, Twilight!
Yeah, Conrad getting in there as well. Conrad and Nelly side by side coming round that right hand kink there.
Yep, SRI going defensive. Yeah, it looked like Twilight got a little bit wide at the kink. Art Pal managed to slide on through. The thing is, if you've got different levels of wear, there can be a massive difference of speed through some of these corners.
SGP back on the mediums. Has he done 2 stunts on the mediums?
Yes, he has. I thought maybe he'd have sort of short stinted to get rid of the mediums, but no. I would guess it was a tactical decision. There's a lot going on behind Demon R. And we've also got this Battle SGP and Critical trying to make them move. I don't think Critical's pitted yet. No, he hasn't.
Oh, they're going 4 wide behind.
Oh, meow! That was Rich, not Rich.
That nearly stuck. Rich Blues there.
He didn't go off the track. However, he did go from the inside of the track all the way to the outside of the track. So, yeah. Thankfully didn't collect anybody, but yeah, definitely went in there a little too quick. SGP trying to make a move around the outside of Twilight. So Twilight, after having gone a little bit wide, he is now getting mugged. I mean, we're 3 wide times 3. That's epic.
Yeah.
You said the other picture should have been the thumbnail. That should have been the thumbnail. 3 by 3 by 3.
The other one, it just looks more better. Well, we never got a thumbnail of this one, so we never put them side by side.
Well, no, true.
So SGP defending from Demon R, who was leading but has went into the pit. Steve F1 still going at this moment in time.
Okay, so SGP's went a little bit deep there. Demon R, I guess, is looking for a bit of a switchback, but then I don't really see the point in making a move through that corner unless it's the last lap, because you're better off bump drafting down the straight as Art Power heads to the pits. Yeah, bump draft down the straight and then make the move in the corner. If he doesn't do that, he's going to come under attack from Conrad. So let's see, Jason's coming under attack from Nelly as well. So yeah, Demon R pulls out now. Demon R. So SGP's tyres half worn on the front left. So maybe it's just strategic what he's doing on the medium compound tyre. For Demon R though, he's now in second place, but it is net first with Steve F1, as you mentioned, not having pitted yet. and we know Steve's on the soft compound tyre. I'm just wondering if he might be trying the one-stop here, bro.
I don't know about too much.
Well, I
For a
don't...
one-stop, depends how long and how less of time he loses on warm mediums compared to what everybody else is doing.
Absolutely.
Is Conrad's now attacking him to come up to this kink?
Quite possible, yeah, he is. Oh, well, SRI's close in as well. Steve F1. I'd expect he's got to be heading to the pit soon, surely. Now that Demon R's in second place, he'll be able to see if that gap is coming down or not. And I would sort of, that's okay. A little wider than he would have liked to be. But yeah, so Steve F1 will be able to tell if he's losing time to Demon R or not. And I would guess with the tyre life of Steve F1's tyres, Demon R would be catching up with Steve is heading to the pits. Now, Conrad got SRI up his chuffed.
Now, will SRI bum draft him or does he go for a move?
Oh, he has
He's
gone for the
bumming him.
bum draft. Oh, so it's Northern friends. Oh, well, no, it's not anymore. Oh, SGP moving around, sharing the slipstream maybe. Can't make a move with Demon R. SRI Conrad side by side. Steve F1 is going to come out a long way back. That's one of the downsides of staying out quite a long time. Don't know what tyre he's on though at the moment. That will be I think a crucial bit of information, because if he's on the softs, we know he's got another stop to do. If he's on the mediums, maybe he could. I mean, he's just done 11 laps on the softs. Could he do 14 on the mediums? Maybe. But as you said, it depends on how slow they'll be when they're warm.
Well, he was slow out that corner. He's lost, nearly losing 3 positions.
Not SGP, I'm on about Steve F1.
Oh, right, sorry. Just Steve Friends went into my head, that's why.
Well, SGP is definitely losing places. I mean, he's on more worn tyres than these guys. I mean, I don't know what he's doing with his strategy. I mean, he's ran the mediums twice. So, yeah. Okay, Jason on the back of Conrad now. Jason doesn't really want to be losing much time here, I don't think. But it's, excuse me, one of the problems you have, especially in a stint like this, is the likes of the 4 or 5 cars that were at the lead at the start. When they pit and end up in the pack, what they have to be careful of is pushing too hard.
Demon R in the pits.
Oh, yeah, so
that was quick.
Conrad. Okay, well, Demon R then, okay, he was on the medium tyre. Conrad was on. That's a very short stint on the medium tyre, Ray.
Yeah, what was that, 13?
Oh, Nelly! Oh, no, oh dear, oh, Nelly. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting now.
9?
Go on.
How many? 9 laps to go?
No.
It's quite.
13.
Oh, 13.
Where did you get 9 from?
Oh no, I counted at 14, sorry.
Well, even at 14, it's still 12. Okay,
Well, we're still to finish this lap.
Well, true,
so that's 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things I want to sort of quickly mention. Rich Blues on the medium tyres battling with Gary. I don't know what tyres Gary is on at the moment. Steve F1 is right there as well. Steve F1 on fresh tyres. I think that was a difference of levels of wear there. Gary being a little more cautious and Steve F1 having the grip. But this is what I was on about. Oh, Steve F1 is on the soft compound tyre. He's going to have another stop to do, Ray. Oh, and up the inside he goes. The thing
but could Demon R get 13 laps on his next tyre? That's a question.
If they're
he's putty.
softs, no. Well, yes, but the last 4 laps would be epically slow. So, well, let's see what tyres, when we can, what tyres Demon R has gone to. As Rich Blues is heading to the pits. Artpal's got to run on Nelly. Nelly having recently pitted. Artpal recently pitted. They're both on the soft compound tyre. And they're both trying to make a move on Gary. Here comes Twilight as well. Nelly.
Twilight's just waiting to see what happens here.
Yeah, Nelly was a little later on the brakes. Artpal just tagged the back of Gary. Oh, Twilight a little wobbly. And here comes Demon Art. Oh, says thank you. Thank you. What a move. I'll have some of that. Thank you. Oh, Artpal slow. I think he's waiting Might have been waiting
For
for
Gary.
yeah. Wow, okay, so this is interesting now then. So Steve F1 and Demon R, well, I don't know about Demon R yet, but Steve F1 has got another pit stop to do. I don't think Demon R is going to the end, which would mean he's got another pit stop to do, which would mean that Steve F1 could be net leader right now.
Yeah, because SRI is definitely going to. SRI still got a pit stop to do, so it depends how long he takes this set of tyres as well.
I mean, actually, Jason's on the medium tyre, isn't he? Jason won't be going to the end. He pitted at lap 7, so Jason's got another pit stop to do. So, yeah, Steve F1, I think, is net leader. Okay, Demon R making a move on Nelly, or trying to. Nelly on slightly warm mediums, Demon R on fairly fresh, soft compound tyres. Oh, Twilight! Oh, he's binned it and took Artpower with him. What's that?
But if the top 5 have still got a pit stop to do, does that not make SRI net leader at the minute? Because they've all still got a pit stop to do.
Well, yeah, okay, that's a good point, yes. Yeah, if SRI has got one to do and not two. Okay, Artpower recovering from Twilight, taking him to the barrier. Conrad got a bit of a run. Conrad's on fresh, soft. Oh, that's unfortunate for Artpower. His tyres are fairly fresh and he got caught up by Twilight there. Conrad making the move, or having a look at making the move, and ended up with nowhere to go. Rich Blue's looking a little bit twitchy here at the moment. And,
that's because he's on a pad.
or is it that time, is it?
Yeah.
Excuse me, having a cheeky
He's on a pad more than his wife.
iPad, oh jeez. Okay, my mind, right, I just mentioned iPad, and then my mind just pictured a woman trying to stick an iPad in a knickers for that time, and the mum going, it's not working.
Yeah, Critical's indicator's on, and that's definitely on.
I don't know.
That'd be confusing behind him, like, what's the signal for?
He's got his left indicator on a track where 90% of the corners are right-handers. So there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 left-handers. He's got a bit of a run here on Gary, although that tighter line doesn't give you the best exit. Gary, I think, heading to the pit lane. So managed to... Oh, no, he's not. He's come out of it. Ooh. Dummy in going for the pits. Okay, Steve F1 now on the back of Jason. SRI hasn't pitted yet. Do we know what tyres SRI is on?
Softs. He was on the softs.
Excuse me, sorry.
Steve F1 getting close to Jason. Jason a wee bit out of shape here. Can Steve F1 tuck in the inside? But then he's going to be on the outside for turn 4, but he might be just that. Yep, ahead.
That he is. I mean, the thing is, his tyres have taken a bit of punishment, though. This is kind of what I was on about, though. Like, he did 11 laps on his first set of soft tyres. This stint is only on the 5th lap of them, and he's pushed them hard. You can tell because he's got not much tyre life left. Conrad's...
Where did Conrad come from? Because... Is he put? No, he's not put because the last time we seen it was Critical and Gary, and then there was a big gap. Now Conrad's on the back.
Yeah, there was a gap. Critical got a little bit wide. Conrad was behind Rich Blues and Artpower, wasn't he? I think Artpower may have pitted again, or perhaps something happened that we didn't see. So Conrad, I think, with the boost, was just able to close that gap in. But also, again, he's on fresher tyres, and I think that's one of the things. Oh, yeah, SRI is on worn soft tyres. I mean, he's had a decent stint. He's got to use the medium tyre. Steve F1 makes the move. So SRI's got to be headed to the pit lane soon to put on that medium tyre, which should take him to the end. And as you rightly said, Ray, all the other guys around him are going to have to pit again.
Yeah, it just depends how much time SRI is going to lose between now and his pit stop because of Steve F1's came past him, and then Demon R, that puts him at the back foot of the chance for net lead.
Yeah, well, Jason's been on his medium tyres since they pitted at the end of lap 7. Demon R's used his mediums, pitted again. He's now on soft tyres and he's challenging SRI. Is he going to try making a move? Well, SRI going to, well, with SRI's worn tyres, it could be a tricky kink. It could be. Yeah, there we go. Massive difference of grip level available to those two drivers as on the pack cam. Nelly and Critical so close going into the same corner. Critical stays ahead. I think SRI's got to be heading into the pit lane now. Whoa, someone's kicked up some dirt.
Yeah, to be Nelly and Critical fighting.
Yeah.
As we can see on the pack cam there, as everybody's bunching up here.
SGP's on the medium tyre. Oh, Critical! Oh no, he's lost it. I tell you what, we mentioned a little bit last week, didn't we, about around tracks there's 2 or 3 corners where they are spin generators, and I don't mean that as if there's a glitch, but they're just corners it's so easy to spin at. And around here, turn 1, turn 4, turn 6, those 3, and the final one, those 3 can easily spin you around at a moment's notice. So Rich Blues defending from SGP. Nelly holds on as well. Rich Blues trying to make the move, but I think SGP may have more grip. So Demon R now all over the back of Steve F1, and he will he want to get the move? He probably knows that Steve F1's got another pit stop to do, or does he? I mean, you'd have to think with Demon R catching up this much, he's got to be thinking that Steve F1 won't be staying out on whatever tyre he's on, because Demon R
SRI's on the pits, being on the pits. So is he going for a undercut?
So Demon R make the move on the same corner that SRI struggled with a grip. Steve F1 had the same issue. So Demon R into the lead of the race. So just to put this into perspective then, so Demon R has used both compounds, but he ain't getting to the end on those tyres. Steve F1 still needs to use the medium tyre. Jason has used both compounds, but isn't going to get to the end. Conrad and Nelly, I think they both need to pit again. SGP may be able to get to the end. With that amount of wear on his tyre, yeah, he can get to the end. Art Pal, he pitted recently, not exactly sure what situation his
Jason in the pits.
Oh, yes, he is. So that's Jason getting rid of the meat. Oh, you know what? That could be a race when SRI's heading to the pits again.
Has he put the wrong tyres on?
Oh, dear. Maybe he didn't put enough fuel in.
It's not fuel's not the effect. So see, I don't know if Artpal was going for a move. Oh, SGP parking it. Artpal gave him a wee tag.
Interesting. Artpal on the soft tyre. He may be able to get them to the end. It could be a little touch and go. To be honest, being in that 6th place right now, I think I'd be tempted to pit again. Pit and put a brand new set of soft tyres on with 6 laps to go. Don't have to worry about the wear. It could be an option because SGP's on fairly decent level wear mediums and could be quite awkward. But if Artpal can get past, maybe he can pull away. So it's kind of catch-22 scenario. Blues and Critical closing in. Okay, so our Demon R and Steel. Artpal having a cheeky look around the outside. Is he going for a switchback? Or he is going for a switchback. Is he going to have to be a double switchback though? Yeah, take that wide line, tuck it back in. SGP will go defensive. Oh, he's not going defensive. Oh. Demon R in the pits.
Yeah, I think he was just watching the gap behind him and Artpal, but Critical in the barrier at the last corner.
Oh no. Oh.
So here comes Jason, so he'll be net leader now.
Yeah. Whatever the reason for SRI having or doing 2 pit stops, 1 lap after another, has definitely hurt his race. So Jason having a look up the inside of Artpal, right up behind SGP. Demon R coming out of the pits just ahead of Gary, who is now just ahead of Steve F1. Rich Blues on the medium compound tyres. I don't think I've seen Rich using the softs yet. He's going to have another pit stop to do, so he can pop those soft tyres on. SGP. You see, SGP I think can get to the end. The problem is that Jason on what I think are going to be brand new softs. Yeah, I don't think SGP is going to be able to keep Jason behind him.
No, we'll see as we come down to the kink. See if he can do a Demon R move that he done on Steve F1 and SRI. No, he's not close enough.
Well, the thing is, SGP's got a little bit too much wear, too much life in his tyres to really suffer in that corner. But Jason may be able to have a good look through these final sector, or at least down into turn 1. And now there is quite a gap between Jason and Demon R. The question I would pose though, Ray, is Jason's got one extra lap to do on his soft compound tyres compared to Demon R. Art Pal, looking at his tyres now, will they do 6 laps? Oh, and for Nelly, I don't think they will, you know.
No, I think Nelly will need a pit stop. Is Jason going to go now? SGP just putting his car in the middle of the road.
Yep, and on the
might pick a side. Oh.
If you're going to overtake, you're going to have to go all the way round. Now on the pack cam, Demon R very sneakily was giving Gary the slipstream, so Gary could stay alongside Steve F1. Gary's now got SRI right alongside him, so they're 3 wide. Jason gets the move done. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the main screen. I was watching the pack cam.
Yeah.
So
I was watching the pack cam as well because SRI's still there, even though he's done an extra pit.
Yeah, so may still be able to get back into this one. Or Rich Blues has gone a little bit wide. And, the pack cam is getting very, very busy. Okay, so, situation, critical. Oh, no, critical's not in that battle. Oh, he's a little bit further back at the moment. But yeah, so situation up at the front. Nelly has got a pit again, I'm pretty sure of it. Jason is net leader. SGP is net second. I think he can get to the end. But look at the SRI Conrad side by side. Conrad's on fairly fresh softs. So he should be able to get to the end. I think SRI is getting to the end, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's on them mediums now. So,
I think.
Bump there. What's up with Steve F1?
I think Steve F1's had a massive sideways moment as Nelly is into the pits. Is there a few others pitting as well?
Steve F1 back in the pits.
Oh, yes, he is. Okay, so that puts Conrad, that frees up Conrad to battle SRI. Because I was going to say, for SRI and Conrad, it was kind of a tricky situation because of the pack being so together there. A bit of bump drafting and they could have been under attack. So Connor right behind SRI now. Okay, so those guys have just pitted. Oh, SRI I think has got a little bit deep there. That's what she said.
I think he's just trying to hug that inside, but he's trying to defend the corners here. Conrad might be able to go around outside with the soft tyres compared to SRI's mediums.
It's a longer way round, but it can be a faster way round because you're straighter on the wheel and it allows you to get more power down. So Conrad is just ahead through the right-hand kink. And on the pack cam, Demon R is closing in on the back of SGP. So SGP's chances of winning this race are dwindling a little bit because Jason's already passed him and there is Demon R right behind him. So we've got what?
Look at his tyres though. Oh, his tyres were quite very warm. He's still got what, 43 laps to go?
43 laps? Yeah, you ain't getting
4-2-3.
Yeah, it is 4 laps. So interesting there. Demon R, is you going to go for the move? He's doing a bit of bump drafting first, get a bit of extra speed. Now, a little bit like I mentioned earlier on about if drivers push too much in a stint, they kill the tyre. For Demon R, knowing that Jason has jumped him and got so far ahead, if he pushes too hard here, he'll kill his tyres and have no chance of catching Jason at all. SGP keeps Demon R going a little defensive on the pack cam. I think that was Nelly and Critical side by side through turn 1.
Yeah, I did see the pack cam. Was too busy watching SGP and Demon R having their wee battle as Conrad's kind of pulled away from SRI. So Conrad chasing down SGP for third place, wouldn't it be?
It would be, yeah. SRI was on the medium compound tyre there. Critical! Oh, it's so easily done. And that was turn 4, one of the ones I mentioned. It's easy to spin out. But yeah, it's a shame that for Critical. Steve F1, from what looked like it might have been a 1 stop, has ended up, I think, doing 3 stops. He's now on a soft tyre. Got a chance of battling back through a little bit here, though, as he's challenging Twilight with 3 laps and 1 corner to go. Art Pal coming under a lot of pressure, though. Steve F1 has got past Twilight already. I wonder if Twilight got a bit sideways through the...
Art Pal's got fresh softs on as well, so... Nelly and Gary going for the pits, or they just staying? No, Gary's there. Who was in?
Twilight.
Twilight's went to pits. Nelly didn't take any slipstream. He went.
I think. No, I think Nelly went for Twilight's slipstream and then pulled back.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Yeah, okay.
Art Pal and Gary side by side. Steve F1 got ahead.
Oh,
no! Nelly! Oh, he don't need slipstream. Not where he's going. So Art Pal and Gary still side by side. The soft compound, a little bit wide. I don't know if there's a touch of contact there. It can happen so easily in that corner. Okay, the pack cam looks like it's looking from was Jason's rear wing, SGP's rear wing now. You mentioned about Conrad. He is catching SGP. Look, that's
yep.
I mean, got Connor on worn softs doing 35s and 36s, and SGP's getting caught hand over fist. I don't know where that saying comes from.
You're there.
Oh, yeah, Connor.
Oh.
This is going to be like taking candy from a baby. Not that easy, surprisingly, and a lot of tears.
SGP never made it to the apex. Connor got it to the apex, so he's going to have a wee bit of better run. Look at Jason.
It's close.
Demon R's get better.
Isn't it? And the Demon R's
Demon
slither better, but that might be what that 1 extra lap. Oh, here we go. Oh, SGP's tyres are knackered, aren't they? The front left. Conrad's got the grip here. Inside he goes. For SGP, though, maybe this is now... Oh, look at the pack cam. Look at the main screen. Oh. Steve F1 sharing the slipstream between 4 cars. And one of them's going the wrong way. Same moment. Just now we use the same analogy. He's gone the wrong way. Or there. He's gone the wrong bloody way. I don't know what accent that was. It definitely was Scottish.
I don't know what happened there, but one car went right instead of... Went left instead of right, sorry. Went his other left, other right.
Yeah, what's that Spice Girls song? Went for big good
So SGP just front of this pack. I think that would kind of give Steve F1 a wee bit of relief there.
Absolutely, a bit of a breather. Okay, Demon R has now caught up to the back of Jason as we're heading into the last lap of the tyre.
The tyres.
Okay, the thing is, in this situation, Ray, would you rather be the hunted or the hunter?
I'd rather be the hunter.
Absolutely. Jason going defensive, trying to break the slipstream, maybe trying to get Demon R's tyres a little dirty. There was really not a lot. Oh, Demon R! I thought he was going for it then. Yeah, I tell you what, he's closed up big time in the braking zone. So I'm wondering if Demon R maybe feels he's got quite a bit of grip. That will have got Jason looking in his mirrors. So this is it. It's a final lap. Even Ray's babies agree. Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah. Okay, round the long right-hander. How are they going to cope? This is going to kill the tyres. They may even push it a little harder. The gripper's gone now. Okay, so I was going to text message from them. So DBR, there's not many corners left. We've seen him make a move down here a few times. And Jason comes to the inside. DBR around the outside. Oh, Jason's wide!
Oh, DBR slowed down now.
Oh, I wonder if there was perhaps a bit of contact there then. Well, if that's the case, this makes this last couple of corners interesting. Jason going defensive. DBR taking a slightly wider line. You've got to cover that inside line now if you're Jason, but if you cover it too much... Oh, DBR's going up the inside and it's through!
He sent it.
He licked it, he sent it, he posted it. Now it's delivered. Or is it? Jason with a bit of slipstream. It's a drag race to the finish. Jason pulling alongside. And it's a... Oh, it's close, but DBR takes it. Jason second. Conrad, it's a drag race for the SRI and SGP, but SGP just holds on. Oh, my days. Oh, my 5 wide. Good luck knowing who got where. Oh, I know what position Twilight's in, 12th. The rest of them, I don't know. Wow.
Don't have a bloody clue.
No, I ain't got a clue at all. But yeah, wow, what an end to the race there. A last lap, last corner move to take the win. And Jason, it looked like, I think if the finish line had been a little bit further down the road, I think he'd have got back past, you know. But yeah, wow. Those wide.
Either Jason never had the grip into that right-hander or messed up his braking for that right-hander that gave DBR that chance just to lick it and send it and get through there. But then Jason, it was the exit of the last corner, kind of put DBR under pressure to the line.
Absolutely. I mean, as they were heading into the corner, I was about to mention, like, Jason's got to cover the inside line, but I think if he'd have covered it too much, DBR could have taken that really, really wide line and got a switch back. So I think maybe Jason was sort of defending middle of the road. But yeah, DBR chucked it up the inside and I think Jason will be kicking himself a little bit with that one. Oh, sorry, what's that? A message from DBR to Jason. It's painful being overtaken on the last lap of Fuji for the win, is it? Oh, yeah, it bloody is! Because if you don't remember, last time we raced at Fuji, in the last championship, Jason, with a lap to go, did a sneaky overtake through the long right-hander to win the race, didn't he? Or was it 2 laps to go? Interesting. But yeah, we all raced. For the pack, I mean, some people may not like Boost. Personally, I think it's a great thing because of what it allows. So, as an example, we saw on I think it was in the opening lap. I don't know exactly what happened to Conrad, but there was a spin in there. Without Boost, his race is pretty much done. But with the Boost, it allows him to still be involved. Art Powell, with 1 lap to go, ended up with that crash down at turn 1. We couldn't tell exactly what happened there, but he was one of those 5 wide. And without the Boost, you wouldn't have that. And that's where people would get dejected and go, well, my race is over, I might as well just quit now. And obviously that's not what we want. But yeah, some very interesting battles all the way across the grid. Once again, Nelly and Critical giving themselves a good showing. Critical very unlucky with a couple of the spins he's had here. But as I mentioned, they're in corners where you can spin. But again, Ray, it's the second race we've had at Fuji where no one has spun on the exit curb of turn 1.
No, not seen any within this view, but maybe if we went and checked everybody's footage. No, did Nelly not mess up turn 1 and ended up spinning?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was one. Where it might have been. Oh, maybe. But it was on the inside line. It wasn't on the outside line, I think. If we're wrong, let us know in the comments. Can't really remember. But I definitely don't remember seeing someone like on the exit curb and us going, "Oh, we want to be careful out there," and then seeing them spin. But yeah, overall though, got to say, great race. So many different strategies in that race, I'm hearing, Ray, you might have some information about SRI's double pit stop.
Yeah, I went into the pits. He asked for the mediums, but as he was leaving the pits, he looked up to the timing screen and it said sauce. So he done a lap and then went into the pits, and it said he was on racing mediums. The daft bastard forgot to look at the actual car symbol where the tyres are to see if it said racing mediums or racing soft. So would they have been in an SGP position then if he'd spotted that?
Wow.
I don't know.
Well, maybe. I mean, it's an interesting point you make, because he would have been further up the road, but he would have been on worn tyres towards the end.
Yeah.
I mean, I think overall, I think SRI caught SG nearly past SGP at the end. So, yeah, I mean, I think with so Jason was on softs at the end, DBR9 was on softs at the end, Conrod was on softs at the end. I think those three may have had the pace over SRI on worn mediums. So around fourth, maybe where SRI could have finished. But it's one of those, you never know. He could have finished much further ahead. Because let's see, he would have been ahead of Jason. It would have been interesting, so it is a shame. Steve F1 looked like he had a bit of a tough race there. I mean, it's interesting strategy from Steve. Did 11 laps on the soft tyres at the start. I genuinely thought he was going to try a one stop. But went on the softs again, but only did like 5 or 6 laps on them. So I'm guessing for Steve F1 it was a case of, I mean, this is sometimes for strategy, if you don't know what to do, you do it on the fly as a race is evolving. So for Steve F1, he finds himself in first when others have pitted and there's a bit of a gap. So if you've got the grip, sometimes you can keep on going and it works. I just find my personal experience with Fuji is you're better off having fresh tyres. It's kind of, I'm trying to think where there's another track. So a bit like Brazil, so for example. Brazil's one of those tracks where you don't really want to be driving around there with front tyres that ain't got a lot of grip, because it won't turn into the corners in the middle sector. And you can lose so much time. You compare that to a fresh set of tyres, the difference can be huge. But yeah, so it was an unfortunate one for Steve there. But yeah, I think overall though, a great race, very exciting. I mean, I don't think it's been a while since we've had a 3 followed by a 3 followed by a 3, all getting round a corner and nobody crashing. I mean that
yeah.
I mean that's
maybe the 4 was too much into turn 1. It's a lucky
okay.
3s.
Yeah, 3's okay. For isn't 3? Is 3 a prime number? I don't know. But there we go. Something I do want to ask you though, Ray, is why did the Oreo go to the dentist?
I don't know.
He lost his filling.
Alright.
You know, I thought it was snowing here for a second. I genuinely thought it was snow. It's Blossom.
It's pushing down here. What's worse than two girls running with scissors?
I don't know.
2 girls scissoring with the runs.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I did it. You know what? My mind went into scissoring, but I thought, no, it won't be that. Oh, you dirt. No,
It was dark, the moon was high, all about, just me, just her and I. Her lips so soft, her eyes blue. I know just what you wanted to do. I felt her hair so wet, her skin so fine. I run my fingers along her spine. I remember being nervous and my fast beating heart. Slowly she spread her legs apart. When it happened, I felt no shame. When all at once the white stuff came. At last, it's finished. It's all over now. My very first time at milking a cow. I bet you were thinking something else.
I actually thought you was going to end up shagging sheep or something like that. Oh, I have got a little story to tell you though. Right.
What, you milked a cow?
Yeah. Okay, I was in the pub and so there was a couple and chatting. I was on my own, so I was being nosy, just listening. And the husband says to his wife, "The guys at golf are saying that our mailman has slept with every woman on our street except one." And his wife went, "I bet that's Claire." Some of you might take a moment to get that one, but I like that one.
No, I got it.
Yeah. I know you did. I know you got it. I was saying others might take a moment to get that one. Oh dear.
So SJP's a lucky one.
Yeah, that absolutely or unlucky. Well, yeah, depends on which way you were looking at it. Right, okay. In a few moments, we will have a look at the confirmed race result and the championship standings. I will quickly mention apologies that this race may not have been out at Sunday 8 o'clock, but I'm away for the weekend, which will have already happened. So it will have come out when it's available. Now for the G-Spot, I'm not going to do an integral G-Spot onto the race video this week with me being away. Fucking hell, that Billy man was thrashing it down the street then. I'm in the lorry, not running. Sorry, like my road's quite a busy road, but trucks just gone past doing about 50 when it's a 30. So what's the question? Yeah, so we'll have a look at any incidents and stuff on at the G-Spot with obviously any points adjusted if it needs it here. Next track though, Ray, for next week. Do you remember where it is?
Yeah, Spa.
Ah, that is true. But it's a new Spa.
That's a 24-hour Spa, isn't it? The
Yep.
pit lane is
Fucking massive. It's the normal pit entry, isn't it?
Yeah, normal pit entry, pit exit. It's it's like half the lap.
Yeah.
And might see quite a few penalties. Well, to be honest, Fuji's entry was a wee bit of a, I wouldn't say difficult, but tricky. And we never really seen MD getting penalties for that. So, but it's just the way the going up the hill and the right and the left of the pit lane. Yeah, I don't know if it's just 2 tyres go over that line, you'll get a penalty, or it needs to be all 4. I've not checked.
You know what? Neither have I, and I probably won't until we get to practice. Now, yeah, a fantastic. It'll be interesting to see how the tyres cope around there, because we know that Spa can be a little bit of a tyre killer on occasion. However, Spa is no more a tyre killer than Fuji is, because Fuji's a weird one. Such a long straight cools the tyres right down. But then you've got corners in the middle and final sector that just destroy the left-hand side tyres. Now, at Spa, yes, you've got poo on, but you've also got right-hand corners that are going to, balance out that wear a bit. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the tyres cope. and we've definitely got an agreement there from the little one. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard them. That's why I went
You know
on
what
it.
it is? It's because you're doing loads of talking. He's probably talking to you.
Yeah, I'll
But,
be shouting dad, or something.
Well, Rich, you need to get in on this. Do your duties. But yeah, so Spa could be a fascinating one. That is for certain. Right, is there anything else that we need to sort out or mention? No. There's no announcements yet to do with the next championship, Carl. It has been decided, but again, like mentioned last week, we just need to work out the timing and the dates. As to what happens, because obviously one of the things that we're looking at is because of the summer holidays, and we previously said that we don't want to do Gold Star championships over the summer holidays, because that's when people with kids, or the kids are going to be off school, they might be going on holidays and things like that. So we just need to try and work out the dates and then how we're going to go ahead with things through there.
And also, we don't want to do a double dirty championship again, like we did last year, because it was
a bit too
just a little bit too much.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, okay, Ray, thank you for joining us on commentary.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you to the admins behind the scenes as well, and especially a big shout out to the drivers for another fantastic race. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Right. An odd morning commentary done by myself and Ray. We're not used to it. I can't even go and have a beer because I'm
No, that's what I was like.
It's weird, isn't it? I'm sat here drinking coffee going, this isn't the same. But also, I've got like a 2-hour drive to do in a bit. So it's not like I can even just crack on. You got
to go to school run. I've got a school run, and I need to go to Falkirk and then back.
Yeah.
So, but I'm near as same as you to our drive this afternoon as well.
Yeah.
An hour there and an hour back. So.
I might have to go for a nap to reset my day. Right, okay, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll have a look at the Cobford race result and the championship standings. Have a good one, Ray. I'll see you in a bit.
Ta-ta!
Bye-bye. Demon R then with victory in the maximum 20 points. Ahead of Jason, only just. In second place, 17 points for him. Conrad with a great end to the race there to get up to third place and 15 points. SGP held on just to fourth place and 13 points, just ahead of SRI in fifth on 12. Steve F1 finished in sixth place on 11 points. Then we had Nelly in 7th place on 10 points, and then across the line we had Formula Gary in 8th, Art Power 9th, Critical in 10th. I'm pretty sure we saw Twilight crossing the line in 12th, but Rich Blues is showing in 12th, and well, that's because Rich Blues decided to be a bit of a donut and forgot to use both compounds of tyre. And not only did he forget to use both compounds of tyre, he didn't even use the best tyre in the race. So he pretty much did 3 stints on the medium tyres and completely forgot to use the softs, which comes with a 1-minute penalty and drops him down to 12th and Twilight in 11th. So let's have a look at what that's done to the standings then. Now there was a report as well, and I'll get onto that in a moment. Demon R now still leading the way on 57 points. Steve F1 and Jason now tied for second place on 46 points each, with an 11-point gap to the top. Conrad has closed that gap in on Steve F1. He's now 4th place, 38 points, and he's 1 ahead of SRI, who's in 5th place, who's only 3 ahead of SGP, who's in 6th. Nelly having a great debut season, 7th place, 32 points for him at the moment. Gary with that 8th place finish, I think it was today, jumps up a bit, so 8th place, 25 points for him. Jimmy drops down with not being able to race, so 9th place and 18 points for Jimmy. Twilight and Arpal though now tied in 10th place on 17 points, with Critical in 12th on 12. Critical also having a great debut season, but did miss race 2. 2. Rich Blues is in 13th place now, jumps up above Bob. So Rich on 11 points and Bob on 5, with Bob not being able to race last week or today. Well, it's been a very interesting race, that's for certain. As we mentioned, the next track is Spa, with a 24-hour circuit pit lane. So if the drivers are not sure what that is, make sure they'll soon find out when they do a pit exit, when they go onto the track in practice. Okay, I mentioned that there was a report. Now, no penalty has come from it. But I will actually, I will read out the report and the steward's verdict on it, and I will do a G-Spot video on it. It's just at this moment in time while I'm recording this, I am actually away from home, so getting a G-Spot done is a little tricky. But I will, as I said, go through it quickly now. Okay, so one incident reported last lap, turn 3 to 4, and it's from SRI. It says, I feel SGP defended in a way it caused a collision and let him keep his position. Also, can admins tell what is acceptable as parking it to when it's causing a collision to cars behind by someone thinking they are parking it? Now, the steward's view, by the way, turns 3 and 4 was the long right-hander. I think I just called that all turn 3, and then 4 was the left-hander. Okay, so the steward's view, and bear in mind, because SGP and SRI were involved in this, they had no input into the stewarding decision on this one. So the steward's view, SGP runs wide on the corner exit of the long right-hander and lifts off the throttle to ensure he stays on the track. SRI seems to be caught out and swerves right in avoidance, and there is minor contact before he gets sideways. Now, the steward's verdict is that it's no penalty. SGP was not to blame, as he lifted off the throttle to stay on track rather than parking it. And SGP only hit the brakes for the next corner, the left-hander, once SRI was actually to the right-hand side of him. So it's not like he brake checked him or anything. So SRI was just unfortunate. He was even wider than SGP on the corner exit, which may have caused him to get sideways on the curb himself when swerving to the right. Now, without being able to show it right now, obviously it doesn't give I can't sort of go through the minutiae details of it, but I will do that on the next G-Spot. But on that particular corner, it does look as though, like, literally we've got one car going around the corner, starting to go wide, and to make sure they stay on the track has lifted off the throttle. Now, SGP's tyres are knackered at this point. SRI's are also knackered, but a little less knackered. And while following, SRI's also gone a little bit wide, maybe looking to make a move up the inside into the next corner. But both cars are all the way over onto the curb on this sort of exit of turn 3. And it's one of those where I think if either of them had kept their foot on the throttle while they're on the curb, they'd have been spinning. So for SGP to be off the throttle at that point is understandable. Now, what has happened is a very quick difference in speeds between the two cars, which has meant that SRI has caught right up to the back of SGP at that moment in time, which could look like SGP is intentionally going slow, but he isn't. He's just off the throttle to not go off the track. And as we mentioned in the steward's report, he doesn't go on the brakes until SRI is actually to the side of him, so there's nothing untoward there in that respect. Now, as for the request for, I'll reread it again. Also, can admins tell what is acceptable as parking it to when it's causing a collision to cars behind by someone thinking they are parking it? Now, it's a very good question now, and I'm not going to go into the details of it because I've got my own personal view of what parking it is, and I know what my definition of it is, and I know what my acceptable situation of parking it is. Now that may differ from some of the other admins. So what the admins are going to do is we're all going to get together and we will discuss it and make sure that we are all on the same page. 'Cause it's one of those things where, like we've talked before about dive bombs, we may hear on occasion while racing someone go, "Oh wow, that was a dive bomb," and someone behind them may actually go, "It wasn't. They were already there." Or they were close enough to have a fair look at an overtake. And if they're already there and they're in a fair position to attempt an overtake, it can't be a dive bomb, because the definition of a dive bomb is coming from a long way back and being very late on their brakes, not already being in a fair position and going for an overtake. So the definition is very important. Now, what people might see or view or feel in the heat of the moment could differ from the definition, which is why we'd like to make sure that we get what we would class as the parameters of what parking it is, the terminology correct, so that if people are going to use that terminology of so and so has parked it, we can go, yes, they have, and what they've done is okay, or no, they haven't, that's not a parking it situation. So like this one with SGP, I know from my own personal view, this isn't a situation of parking it at all. It doesn't fall into anywhere near that category. Now, for the likes of SRI in the heat of the moment, and how he's seen it, viewed it, felt it, may fall into his potential definition of what parking it might be. And if it falls out of the scope of what parking it is, then obviously that would be an issue. Now, it's one of those things as well with this one. Had SGP been on the brakes or braked in a manner that was extremely unusual, then again, that probably wouldn't be parking it, that would be something else, but would also potentially bring a different outcome. And that's why we like to make sure that we get our definitions correct. It's why we have definition on what is a dive bomb is, and things like that. Yeah, okay, right, I think that's enough waffle from me. As I mentioned, we'll try and get that onto a G-Spot at some point. There's also a couple of other bits from the race that I want to get onto a G-Spot. I know there was one thing asked for the admins to have a look at that wasn't a report, so I want to get that on the G-Spot as well, which is actually a very interesting situation. So that is something I do want to get done. Okay, right, as I mentioned, next up is Spa. So enough waffle from me. Thanks for listening, watching. You know what to do: like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and if you are interested in any merch, drop us a message. I did have a look to see if there was any new stuff. You can get a flag. I might be tempted to get one myself. I might even be tempted to make a Scottish one for SRI. But yeah, so if there are anything you want from the merch, let us know. All right, have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.